welcome to another One Piece manga chapter read along. This is for chapter 1000. I just saw something. Okay, it's for chapter 1153, and I just saw the next chapter in 14 days. That means next week, no chapter. I'm sad already, but it's okay because we still have this chapter to enjoy together. In the live chat, we have Victory Road Rage, Dark Shadow Modru Tiago, Jolly D Joestar, Emmanuel, Booty is here, Naif, Bernard is here, Many, and Sal is here. Did I say Tiago? So welcome everyone. I have not opened the chapter yet, so I'm excited to see what the cover picture will be. But first, as usual, I'm just going to check the last 2 pages of the last chapter to remember exactly where we left off last week. I wanted to say thank you because last week's live stream and discussion was so fun. Plus, the video on my manga channel did better than usual, so maybe it's because we were having so much fun. So thank you guys. It ended with yes, we were a flashback within a flashback. So we found out some stuff about Shanks and the devil fruit that was intercepted when Loki went to find his father, but then this happened, remember? What's going on here? And so within this flashback, we went further back and found out what the king used to be like. So the king that everyone thought is like so good and so kind, he wasn't always like that. So it goes back about how many years? What caused people to praise him so? For that, we must go far back in time to 109 years before the present. So that's where we found out that he was actually a low-life scumbag, in the words of the manga. Konbanwa. Hi, Muga. Nice to see you. Or Muka. Mu something. Sorry, I can't read. I can mainly only read hiragana. Okay, so now I'm clicking 1153. Are you guys ready? One Piece chapter 1153 is called The Birth of Loki. That's an interesting place to start. So before we read, I'm checking the cover story, which is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 37, Daimyo of Ringo, Kikunojo, and the Boss, Ocho. Oh, Kiku! Oh, Kiku-chan, that's so sweet. Look how happy they are to see each other. Okay. But I'm excited to get started, so let's go. Prince Harold of Elbaf lived out his rather unhinged childhood years alongside Dory and the Borogi. Aww, they're so small! Thanks to his innate size and strength, gifts from his ancient giant blood, as well as his noble status, he developed an inflated sense of self. That checks out. And no one could stop him from growing into a royal pain. Everyone outside of Elbaf is so tiny and pitiful and boring. Don't you agree? Whoa, he flicked the booger and destroyed the ship. Of course, Your Majesty, you are exactly right. Dong. Then we are in the Bunt Kingdom in the New World. Come one, come all. Marvel at the 10-meter woman. Feel the earth tremble as she walks. Cover your ears when she barks thunder, a rare giant from the exotic land of Elbaf. Feast your eyes on Ida. Ida? Ida? That sounds like a familiar name. Harold is there in the first pic for real. He looks like Luffy with horns. Oh, you mean there? A little bit. He does. No. Imagine. Imagine. Anyway, feast your eyes on Ida or Ida. Rawr. Step away from the cage if you don't want to be hurt. And then there's screaming, there's running. Turning a giant into a sick sideshow, they've got some nerve. Konnichiwa. Barahahahahaha. They thought that Elbaf was a joke. Well, who's laughing now? Who are you? No need to thank me. I'm the king of Elbaf. I wouldn't stand to see my hometown disrespected like that. And then she smacked the living crap out of him. Whoosh. Your Majesty! King Harold. So the way that she said, rawr, actually, it made me think it's an act. So probably she didn't want to be rescued in the first place. And then he goes, huh? Turn the ship around. I need to apologize. So many people were hurt back there. Are you insane? You care more about that mini kingdom of tiny humans? Do I have to hit you again? King Harold! They saved my life when I washed up on their shore and gave me a job to do. They were kind enough to help me make a living until I was fully healed. What do you mean, tiny humans? Just because you happen to be born big and are coincidentally strong and brutish? You actually think that makes you better than humans? How can you be so arrogant? Pathetic. This is why everyone thinks that all giants are barbaric and brutish. As barbaric and brutish as Elbaf. Okay, I'm living for this girl. Ida. This is gonna become, maybe this will be his wife, because if I was him, I would fall in love right here, and she's probably the one that made him a better person. Just because I was born huge. So then she goes back, she apologizes, she helps them fix up the town. Honestly, this might be even better for because now there will be this rumor. The giants destroyed the circus, but they were able to capture her again and fight back. Like, they could really sell it if they wanted to. Should we just set sail, King Harold? Why are you all just spacing out? Go and help her, you ninnies! That town is as tiny as a model. It's easy work. Yes, Your Majesty. So, he's in love. Also, hi Espada. And Alexander and Doji. Their method of construction is completely different from ours. We should tell everyone about it when we return to Elbaf. I want to bring home some of their spices. I've never tasted flavors like these before. Imagine fixing a little Lego town. Oh, so cute! That would be so fun. Notice how hardy their fabric is. And yet it's so fine. These humans are more skilled than we realized. Aww. They have a party together. Be careful where you step. You might actually accidentally kill a friend. You have to see things from their level, Harold. Nothing in the world is meant to be destroyed. Oh, that's such a sweet concept. Like, I screenshot. I was born on Samawanai Island in the South Blue. After some twists and turns, my life's path brought me here. So you crossed the Serpent of Blood? You mean the red line? Well, yes. Oh, she calls the serpent of blood the red line. Okay. That's why I can't go back home. Then come to Elbaf. We're not as barbaric as you say. Oh, well, maybe I was mistaken about you two. So they spend, I guess she gets fully healed and then she travels with them and they kind of like learn from each other and have some experiences together on the way back to Elbaf. King Harold has changed. Yeah, it's creepy. I bet it won't last long. And then, 105 years ago. So that means 4 years later in the current flashback. So 4 years after he met Ida. I wish to atone for all of my countless crimes. What's gotten into you, Harold? I may be out of the country more often than I'd wish, but it is only to join hands with our neighbors and ask them to teach us their culture. If we learn from the rest of the world, we can make our land and lives richer. That is true. That is true. It's like any society. It works on a microscopic and a macroscopic level. Like, it only makes sense that a community needs different people with different understandings of things. You need builders. You need... I almost said beavers. But you need builders and thinkers and entertainers and food makers, homemakers. You need all kinds of people to make a society work, right? And when one method fails, you need to try a different way. And then you need innovators and movers and shakers. So like people's differences and learning from each other is the best thing. Well, if you can... It can also be, like, as with anything in life, too much of a good thing can also be a bad thing. So balance is usually key. But in general, a society needs different kinds of people to flourish with different kinds of ways of doing things. So, yeah, this is... If it works in a small community, of course, when you look at the whole world, we can only do so much better if we support each other. It's like a mutual... give and take, equal exchange. So like when one country is lacking, like they're going through a harsh winter, that's when another country steps in and helps. But when that country is going through something similar, that country can, like, that's how you're supposed to, you know, find ways to benefit from each other. And on one hand, of course, it can be difficult because just like in a small community, there are bad people and people can take advantage of each other. I'm sure on a macroscopic level, the same thing can happen. But that's why the more people are involved, the better, because you can hold each other accountable. But that's why, you know, you need rules and stuff. And sometimes even bad people use the rules to their own advantage. But anyway, step by step, at the end of the day, as a society, I think the most basic thing is like it might be better to work with others rather than trying to do everything by yourself in isolation. So that's what he's saying here. If we learn from the rest of the world, we can make our land and lives richer. Yeah, but Dory and Brogy are still raising hell out there. And then they're laughing. Sharing information is what makes humanity thrive. Information, resources, yeah. A little bit of everything. They are good friends of mine, but they have always been eccentric. Oh yeah, they're eccentric. They're cordial with humankind and follow a code of honor. It doesn't hurt that they can fight, of course, but if they pose too much of a threat to other nations, we may have to rein them in. Za ba 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 ba. What a turnabout. Bo da 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 da. Meeting new people took him on quite a journey. Harold, no, Elbaf is blessed with good luck. Elbaf is blessed with good luck. For example, by sending diplomats back and forth, we can help deepen the ties and friendship between nations. I see. So we're each taking hostages then? Don't say it like that. It means that countries can't get to be friends unless the people in them are connected somehow. Oh, so like an embassy, right? Like different countries have embassies of other countries. But yeah, it could turn into a hostage situation really fast. Anyway, Elbaf, 81 years ago. Fisherman Village, Eastern Elbaf. The baby's been born? Is it Loki? Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Harold and Ida. Thank you all. And now Ida and I can... No, you are forbidden from marrying her. The royal line must remain pure of blood. Oh, right. I forgot Loki was the... Oh, no, wait. It's the other one. Loki and the... Don't tell me his name. I'm trying to remember it myself. I'm not good with names. Hydrogen. Is this one... So this one is the one that hasn't got royal blood. So I think that's hydrogen, right? I'm sorry, Ida. It galls me that it must come to this. This is just how the culture works. You can't get emotional and fight against it. You're always welcome in our village. As long as you live in the same country as Daddy, you'll be happy, right, Hydrogen? Oh, so sweet. Whoa, okay. So this is Loki's mom, I presume? This is your betrothed, Harold? Istrid's blood is pure and ancient. She is worthy of being our queen. Look at these freaking... These silhouettes. I just want to punch their faces if I could see them. I was born in the brewer's village to the north, and I studied geomancy. What is geomancy? It is my fate to love you for the rest of my life. Forget all about that woman and child to the east. Oh, that's, no, Istrid. Astrid. I knew someone with the name Astrid. I think it means star, right? But what is geomancy? Can I look it up quickly? Geomancy. The art of placing or arranging buildings or other sites auspiciously. Oh, like feng shui. But instead of furniture, it's like buildings and sites. So it's a form of divination, okay? It's divination from the configuration of a handful of earth or random dots. Oh, so like if you build buildings, maybe you want to build it in this or this or... That's interesting. Human body, the physical and subtle human body according to geomancy. Interesting. I've heard about geomancy is even a move in Pokemon. I've heard about numerology. I've heard about a bunch of stuff, but this is my first time ever hearing about geomancy. Populous, people. Tristitia, sadness. Fortuna major, greater fortune. Via, way. Laetitia, joy. So what, would you build a building or something like this, and then it would bring more joy to the... Okay. I see. This is what the dragon stand in JoJo's Part 6 was. I only know Geo from Genshin Impact, like geography. Okay. So she studied the geomancy. Good heavens! The spirit is escaping to the east. The spirit? Your good luck is getting away. We must close those windows at once. Huh? And that mirror. It's in the 5-star kill position. Destroy it at once. This is Asla, the horse of good fortune. It's a gift from my clan. The perfect mount for you, King Harold. Dun-dun. Horse. Loki. We have to watch that video again. Hiroto. Hi. In fantasy, it usually means controlling geo, but traditionally, mancy means fortune telling, like necromancy is communicating with dead spirits. Oh. Okay, so she gifts Loki's mother, which I'm assuming he hasn't been born yet, but of course this will end up being his mother. She gifts him a horse called Asla. It's a gift from my clan, the perfect mount for you, King Harold. I have no doubt that this horse will bring you great luck. It's enormous, and why does it have 8 legs? Kayla, the fan behind you is in the 5-star kill position. You must move it at once. Don't freak me out, man. Guards, bring all the jewels and gold in the treasury to my chambers. Okay. This is to ensure that the fortunes of wind and earth are sent in His Majesty's direction. Also, inform the scullery maids that from this day forward, the king and I will be using the fine silver to eat all of our meals. Is she just after luxury? And then, about 70 years ago, so that would be 109 to 104, I think, was like 5 years of knowing Ida, and then 70 years later. So this is, wait, 104 minus 70 years later. So now this is 34 years. Do you understand? Wait. I'm asking myself. So in this flashback, it started 109 years ago, and that's when he met Ida. Then it was 104 years ago, which was 5 years later, he had Hyrule. That's when Hyrule was born. Sorry for the terrible writing. Then 70 years ago, which is 34 years later, after that moment. So 29 years after Hyrule was born, I guess. Then what happened? A bit earlier in the chapter, it said 81 years ago too. Oh shit. I missed that. Oh, here, Elbuff 81 years ago. Oh, wait. Okay, wait, I'm confused. Let me include that. Okay, so it starts 109 years ago. Then 105 years ago, he wishes to atone for his crimes. Okay. Atone. Then 81 years ago. Oh, okay. So much later than I thought. Hydrogen was born. Okay. So H born. Then now we're at 70 years ago. But let me just work this out. Let me just work it out. So between when he met Ida and he changed to the point where he wanted to atone, 109. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 4 years. 4 years passed in between that, and then 105 minus 81. So 24 years after he atoned, meaning 28 years after meeting Ida, that's when Hydrogen was born. And now, between 81 to 70, 11 years later, okay. Thanks, Mike. I will do that in a minute. Okay, so about 70 years ago, which I think is 11 years after Hydrogen was born, in an era when the rigors of the sea made it difficult to maintain trade between islands. Oh, okay, so Elbaf's skill at navigation was the envy of other nations. So regular people struggled to manage on the rigors of the sea. So it was very convenient for the Elbaf skills were very necessary. There's a star to the north that never moves called the pole star. Oh, and then the information were helping other people. Okay. You said you met a mermaid, King Harold. Yes, I have at last. Fishmen too. In the kingdom where those with fish blood live. Their king has a newborn heir named Neptune. Okay, so that is Shirahoshi's dad, right? So around this time, 70 years ago, is when Shirahoshi's dad was born. Shirahoshi. Dad. I think his name's Neptune, right? Born. All the creatures of the sea, not just the mermaids and fishmen, were engaged in a grand celebration that spanned the seafloor. Ooh. Under the sea. Under the sea. Oh, okay, now we're at Orust Castle 63 years ago while Harold was away from home. Oh, okay. So I can just delete this. I thought something else was going to happen. So here I can just say Neptune born. Neptune born. Then now we're at 63 years ago. So that means 7 years after Neptune's birth. Okay, what happened? This is while Harold was away from home. Wait, what? How long has he been away from home? I was just gonna ask the same thing, like, because an elephant carries their baby for like 11 months or something. Wait, I have to Google it. It's not really 11 months, but it's not 9 months either. Or a year. It's more than a year, maybe. How long are elephants pregnant? 18 to 22 months. So, I mean, I'm curious. But I guess, let's find out. Congratulations, my queen. It's a very healthy boy. His name is Loki. The king and I decided on it. Now, show me my baby. No, I'm joking. That's not how he did. But he has some scary looking eyes. Oh, now he's adorable. The eyes are a bit unnerving. But I mean, honestly, all newborn babies kind of look a little bit unnerving. I think they're adorable. But Lydia, my friend, so I have a goddaughter, and her mom can't look at pictures of her when she was a baby because she was like, oh my god, she was so ugly. But they're just so tiny. Anyway, so she's absolutely terrified by her own son. It's terrifying. Your Majesty, it's horrid. What is that thing? That is no son of mine. Please, Your Majesty, try to remain calm. Tell the kingdom that it was stillborn. You can't be serious. It is cursed. Accursed. Look at that baby. It's a monster. The only monster is a mother that looks at her child and sees a monster. I don't care if it's postpartum mania. Then she needs to be taken care of, not the baby. She needs medicine. Therapy, whatever, but I hope. The Prince of Elbaf grasped for the empty air, but no hands reached out to envelop his own. Stop, Your Majesty, he's the royal heir. The most unfortunate of all living creatures is the one whose very existence is denied by its mother in the moment of its birth. Do you hear me? I bore no child. Do not tell a soul about this. But what are you planning to do? I'm going back home. I never want to bear another child. Your Majesty. Head guardsman. Down in the underworld. What about the underworld? Oh my gosh. Oda, what are you doing to my heart? Shame. He's clinging. I don't understand this picture right here. She says, okay, she throws him off the tree to the underworld. Then she wants to run away. Because she doesn't want to have another baby. She doesn't want to have the king's baby. She went insane, clearly. More insane than she was before. But then this guy says, Your Majesty, head guardsman. Down in the underworld, ... Like that first part, Your Majesty, head guardman. I don't understand that. Oh, maybe he runs into the room and calls Your Majesty and the head guardsman, okay? And then he's telling her about, whoa, look at this face though. Who is truly the monster? Who is the monster? Okay, so he runs in and he tells her that the baby is still clinging to the tree, probably. So then she fell ill. Get rid of the child. There was a prophecy even before it was even born. The prophecy said that King Harold would one day be killed by his own son. Not that madness again. And while Harold was busy banging his head against the problem of national relations, the world government has stepped in to block our path again. Why can't countries be free to decide for themselves? Yeah. Why can't countries be free to decide for themselves? Hey, can I see the baby too? He's your brother. He's not your son, so he's not my brother. Aw, you're even sweet like that. So Hydrogen was raised with a lot of love, obviously, from his mother, whereas Loki, all of the misfortunes that would fall upon Elbaf would be known as Loki's curse. That reminds me, there's actually an archetype. Earlier we were talking a lot about archetypes of specific characters, like so wait, 63 years ago, that's when Loki was born. Let me just check the timeline again. 63 years ago, yeah. Loki born. I wonder why Neptune's birth is particularly mentioned. I think that bitch died. I don't think she's still alive today. I would not guess that she is, but maybe, who knows. So we were talking about archetypes earlier. No, not literature. Just archetypes. Like you have the hero, the lover, the ruler, the mentor, the orphan. But I feel like there's the herald. The herald also serves to signal challenges and changes that the hero must face, to let them know that change is coming. The herald represents the need for something. Characters that foretells a great change, usually near the beginning of a story, after they've made their presence, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I just thought that was interesting because Harold, the trickster, the everyman, the magician. So anyway, I do think that there is an archetype almost, maybe stemming from past mythologies or whatever. Children that are born and seen as a curse. Because even in Zenless Zone Zero, there was recently a character that could see into the future, but she gets visions of bad things that are going to happen. And then she's blamed for the bad things that happens. But she's not causing it. She just sees it. But somehow she's the one that then gets associated with the bad things, and then she's the cursed child, right? And I'm trying to think, there is another, besides Loki, in this story, there's another character like that, a character that gets associated with, that is seen as a curse. But you know what, even Ace, to some extent, like, there's a very, very strong theme in One Piece in general for a long time that the children do not bear the sins of their parents. And in this case, it's like it gets taken a step even further, where it's not even about sins anymore, but it's like why do these children carry this burden? Like that, it has, you know? It's just like the Pokedex entry for Absol. The Pokemon warns people about disaster, but then people associate it with disaster. And Robin is actually a good example too, yeah. She was also seen as some kind of demon child, right? Now I want to see Robin and Loki interact. I can't believe Oda drew this. Like, it's gonna be so painful in the manga to see in the anime, with the sound effects and the visuals. One of my worst memories from watching the anime was, remember when Luffy was clinging to that ice mountain or something, and he was climbing up there and his fingers were like bleeding. We're reading manga, so we're not really chatting about separate things. So if you're looking for a conversation that is not about One Piece manga, this is not the best place for it, please. Maybe later, but right now I would prefer the chat, keep it relevant to what we're reading. With what happened to Loki, he's nice. Yeah, considering all things considered, I mean, how would any of us feel if we had that kind of mother? I mean, but the thing is, oftentimes people with a terrible upbringings, it can go one of two ways. They can perpetuate what was done to them because they feel if the world hates me, or if the world rejects me, I will reject the world, or they, or they can go the other way, and it's more like this people did this terrible stuff to me, but so I want to protect others from, like, so that the same thing doesn't happen to them. That's a backstory of a future Straw Hat member. I needs Luffy. What? You're saying, I think, this is on par the kind of backstory you get when you become a Straw Hat. But I don't think so, because Law has one of my favorite. I don't think this... Like, Law is one of my favorites, and that's a terrible backstory too. But he's not a Straw Hat. How the hell does baby Loki survive? Well, I mean, he's a giant demon baby, so... Not demon in a negative sense. Demons can be cute too. So... Luffy will help Loki going the right way. I think so too. Definitely. But you know what? It makes me so sad that, there's two mothers in this chapter. He's a baby. That's crazy. Yes, but it's also fictional. And he's a giant. So... Oh, I thought you couldn't believe that a baby would survive that. Oh, okay. Yeah, but mothers be like that sometimes. But like I said, to me the saddest part is just this contrast between these two mothers. The one that she's some random poor everyman, not a literal man, but you get what I'm saying. She's just some random woman he picked up and fell in love with. Thank you. So much babbling in the chat. I can't pay attention. And I'm not talking about babbling about the chapter. I'm talking about babbling about irrelevant things after I asked him to keep it relevant. So, for the third time, the contrast between the two mothers is it stands out a lot, because the one is literally some average woman he met somewhere, fell in love with, just a kind human being, and she has a baby with him, and that's hydrogen, and he receives all this love, even though technically, like, he's a bastard, right, in the literal sense of the word. And then you have this regal woman, and she acts like that. She tosses her baby literally over the edge of the world. Like, imagine if the world was flat and you just toss your baby off. Like, that's basically what she did. Doji says, I have seen theories of similarities between Zoro and Loki. Care to share? Loki's introduction is similar with Zoro. How? Let me quickly take a look at I don't know if anyone said anything in the One Piece chat. Tiago said, the source of all problems, bitches, and outdated traditions. And the cure, the audacity to humble and slap a bitch. Or the slap of love. Frankly, listening to those old conservative giants was dumb when it was Ida herself that changed the king for the better. I wouldn't really call them conservative. Conservation is not an inherently negative trait. I feel like there's a better word to describe extreme traditionalists. Like, you can't marry outside of the royal bloodline. But yeah, conservation and being conservative is not inherently bad. Although I guess if you're American, you might feel different. Anyway, for the better, but the problems have to come from somewhere. So all the royalists. Feels bad thinking Loki had to raise himself to be strong, because Harold looks too busy with politics to discover otherwise at the moment. On another note, I'm starting to see how Loki made friends with the animals in the lower realm. Meanwhile, the world government blatantly trying to corner Harold into making a deal with the 5 elders and Emu. Oh yeah, because he was saying, I can't get enough of Harold's face when he goes, huh? Yeah, he's like completely put in his place. No one has ever done that before. But I feel like it could have gone really badly for her if he was a dipshit, but he wasn't evil. And that's the thing. If he was evil, he would have ordered them to slaughter her right there, and the whole, like, if the giants were truly as evil as they could have been, he would have slaughtered her and that whole island. So this is from Doji. He's saying, this is the thread that I've seen. Zoro and Loki parallels. At least we know at some point Loki and Harold seem to start a relationship. Since the start of this flashback, Loki seems to think highly of him. So, parallels. Number 1. Zoro and Loki both had a reputation of being evil. People were scared just by hearing their name. Okay, but that can be said for a ton of One Piece characters, but a good start. Both Zoro and Loki's introductions were them being chained up for the sake of protecting someone. But protecting someone. Chained up for protecting someone. What's that based on? I understand Zoro, but is this based on the assumption that he was trying to protect his dad and then got framed? Because I don't think that's been confirmed yet, right? We're not sure about Loki, though. We're told he was chained up after a fight with all the giants and Shanks. Okay, so... But we've all had the theory up to this point that he was framed or something. He was actually trying to save instead of kill, as everyone seems to think. But, so, in that sense, I don't think this counts as a parallel yet, because we're not sure. Luffy wanted to meet and recruit them both, despite people repeatedly saying they're evil. Both Zoro and but that one and that one is pretty much the same reason. So I wouldn't say this is number 3. That just links to number 1. But I guess one is the reputation and one is Luffy wanting to recruit them despite the reputation. Both Zoro and Loki told Luffy that if he frees them, they will hunt down any pirate he chooses. Okay, that's the first one that I think is actually interesting. Both Zoro and Loki refuse invitations from 2 factions. Zoro from Baroque Works and Luffy, and Loki from the HKs and Luffy. Both said that they will never stoop to that level. Both are 21 in human years. Both are tied to the underworld / hell. Zoro is tied and lost to Mihawk. Loki is tied and lost to Shanks. Both Loki and Zoro didn't understand their conqueror's haki. Their view on death, fate, and what it means to be a warrior is the exact same. Lola refused Loki's marriage proposal. Lola said she especially wanted to marry Zoro, and Zoro refused her marriage proposal. They have weapons that only they can wield, Enma and Ragnir. Zoro defeated 100 bounty hunters in Whiskey Peak, and Loki defeated 100 giants in Elbaf. It's getting more interesting. And finally, Oda himself acknowledged that Loki's introduction reminds him of Zoro, and said that Zoro's introduction is just like Loki's. It's cool. It's interesting. A little bit, some of it is a little bit reaching to look for similarities where it might just be like, actually a lot of characters might have that similarity, but I just don't know what it could mean. Like, okay, yeah, it's similar, but does it mean anything past that? I wonder. Do you think Loki pierced his eyes because that was the reason why his mother threw him? Or that he just hides them for people not to be scared? I don't think Loki cares that. Um, I don't think Loki would care about people being scared, but it might be like a trauma thing. That reminds me of Katakuri as well. Didn't he hide his mouth because he was made fun of? So, I mean, in the same sense, I guess he didn't want people to be scared of him or to. You know. I want to read the next chapter right now because I know that things turn out okay for Loki. Not exactly, but more or less. Like, at least he's super strong and okay, he was tied to a tree for how long was he tied to that tree for? Oh, and by the way, earlier someone was saying that there was a correction made about Gunko or something in the new volume. So if anyone can confirm and share me like that information. Katakuri is the second born of Big Mom, and Loki is the second born of King Harold. Coincidence? Lol. See, exactly. Like sometimes some things are just you can link them, but does it mean anything, or is it just a coincidence? Obviously, when there is many coincidences on top of each other, it starts being more interesting. But I mean, I think the most interesting stuff is that if both are 21 in human years and both killed 100 pirates and 100, it seems interesting in that sense, but I don't know if it's gonna mean more yet. He ends up being a good guy, accounting for what happened, and I think he will open up as the arc develops. Well, if you've been in the manga read alongs for a while now, I think it's been at least 3 or 4 weeks where we've been saying we don't think Loki is guilty. At the very least, it's been 2 weeks, but I think it might be more. What did I want to do now? I wanted to. Oh, the thing about Oda and the Gunko. Any news on that? Any official source of information? Oh, I actually want to take a screenshot of this. And I'm very curious about why Neptune's birth specifically was referenced. Should I post it? If you have a link, I would like to see a link to an official source. I'm always worried about leaks and stuff. Let me see. This chapter is called 1153. So One Piece 1153. Booty says, all I can see from Gunko in any case is leaks from the next volume. Yeah, I don't like, if it's leaked stuff, I don't want to talk about it. And honestly, the person who brought it up, and especially the person who mentioned names, like very specific, oh, she's from some kind of family, that person should be banned, honestly. I don't know, but I don't like people sharing leaks as if it's like... This person tweeted, Sammy here, the most unfortunate souls are those rejected from birth by their own mother. This Harold Loki flashback is going to move mountains. I'm gonna retweet that. That's freaking cool. I don't like retweeting manga stuff because I'm worried about non-manga readers, but I prefer, if they're using the hashtag, that's the best way to avoid it, right? If you don't want to, you can mute specific hashtags. So rejected by his mother, rejected by his brother, rejected by Lola, rejected by rocks, rejected by his own people, and now he'll show them he's the one to save their country. Whoa, that's pretty cool. A tweet by 429 Outlaw. someone did the color. I don't know if this is allowed, but I like stuff. I like to see stuff like this. I like to see people coloring manga stuff. Existing is not a crime. We finally have an awful mother in One Piece. No one was there to take those small hands in theirs. I feel like I overlooked that part because it was too sad. But now that it's like we're talking about it and it's sinking in, it's so sad. Booty says the volume will be officially released next July 4. So the next read along we will see if it's true or not. Okay. Call me soft, but this really got me in the feels. Hold on, Loki. Someone kind is on the way. Why did Lola reject him? Oh, look, this is also... You can find a lot of comparisons. I mean, the amount of willpower to survive this as a child is unfathomable. Like, this is such a weird thing, though. Why do people dislike hydrogen so much? Like, he's... I guess it's ignorance isn't always an excuse for things, but, like, saying something like this is a bit... This bastard needs to learn his place. Like, that's still a kid, you know? And, I mean, isn't the whole lesson to treat kids better? Like, you can't teach... Here's another person saying, chapter 1152 states that 45 Titan years equals 15 human years. That means every 3 human years equals 15 Titan years, and Loki is 63. But if we calculate it in human years, he's 19, which is exactly the same age as Luffy. So one guy is saying Zoro and Loki have the same age, and the next guy is saying Luffy and he has the same age. So it's like... It feels if it fits to the story, we're gonna see Big Mom next time. Why were someone saying we finally have a bad mom in One Piece when we literally have Big Mom? One criticism I have is that Oda didn't yet this flashback with Mother Carmel and Big Mom. I don't understand the sentence. One critique I have is that Oda didn't like yet this flashback with Mother Carmel and Big Mom. What do you mean? Sabo's mom was also a terrible mom. Yeah, there's lots of bad moms. Yeah. Link. So Oda hasn't linked this flashback with Mother Carmel. Yet, as you said, yet. He linked Neptune's birth, so pretty soon, maybe. If Big Mom gave birth to Loki and found his eyes like this, she would celebrate him for a year. Wait, why? Didn't she hate Pudding's eyes. Both of them got thrown in the underworld by their parents because they were different. Both caused chaos in Elbaf. Years later, they almost became family the way Oda was cooking. I don't think, to be fair, and I'm not defending them, I don't think her parents threw her away because they were different. It was like they could not feed her. It's like if impoverished people put their kids up for adoption because they want them fed and they can't do it. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember that episode. Maybe her parents were in a different light, but to me, I just think they couldn't feed her. They didn't have the means. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, of course things turned out terribly, but I don't think that's what anyone intends when you put your kid up for adoption or something. Wait. Did they abandon her in some place random, or they took her to an orphanage? I forgot. Booty says, if I'm not mistaken, Big Mom is 68. So, at this point in time, when Loki was born, she would be 5 years old. What if Loki just made his backstory up? But this is not Loki telling us his backstory. This is the narrator. Exactly. You can see parallels of Loki with many characters. They abandoned her. Like nowhere. Not even at an orphanage. They just left her in the forest. They told her they would be right back. Yes, but my question is, at an orphanage or close to an orphanage, you know, because I'm just imagining, you know how a lot of, I think it was maybe Despicable Me, and then people leave their kids on the doorstep of an orphanage and then they're on the way. I thought it was like that. Oh, Big Mom was abandoned when she was 5 years old. So at this point in time, when Loki was born, that was happening at the same time, roundabout. We finally got a mom worse than Big Mom. No more slander for her. The reason I still like Big Mom is that, to me, she never really aged past a certain point. And that the guy manipulated her a lot and molded her into the kind of conqueror he wanted her to be. But technically her goal is very noble, but I mean, that doesn't defend her. I'm just saying, it feels like she's almost not, you know how if you have a certain mental illness, you can be judged differently in court because you can claim insanity or whatever. I think Big Mom falls, for me at least, in that category. She's kind of like insane or something. So she is responsible for her own actions, but in a different way than someone who's willfully being, I don't know, psychotic or evil. Or Big Mom was abandoned on Elbaf. Mother Carmel found Big Mom after she was abandoned on Elbaf, but it was near the orphanage. So I think, I don't know, to me, her parents, I don't know why are we talking about this again? But, yeah, I don't know, her parents didn't seem terrible to me. They just seemed like they couldn't feed her, so they dropped her off at an orphanage, but not at the orphanage because she was not a baby anymore. So they couldn't wrap her up in a towel and put her on the doorstep. But it was still a terrible and dangerous thing to do, but I don't think they felt that they had a choice. Oh, yeah, the topic is bad moms. Ah, yes. But shame. Mother Carmel. Now that's a bad mom. This Oda's genre of good couples with sad endings. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. Them two, and then them two. Oh. Oh. Harold really giving me them Monkey D vibes. Booty was saying that this looks like Luffy, and someone else said that he looks like Garp too. Very fitting. Are those giant elders the Gorosei? Yeah, I'm wondering. Or maybe they're the Gorosei from 70 years ago. Maybe they used to look different. I don't know. Or they no. They're not, because this was before they were linked to the world government. He only started to get butting heads with the world government after that. Wanting your kid to marry someone your age feels weird. Talking about Lola and Loki. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, Big Mom was kind of insane. So, I like how unique Ida looks to the typical Oda woman, but still pretty. There's like hundreds of characters in One Piece. I don't really think that they typical Oda woman. I guess you're talking about the proportions. But I mean, if you look at a lot of the prettiest famous celebrities, people have similar proportions. And I guess, I don't know, I never really thought the same. I never really thought, oh, these characters all look the same, the way that, yes, of course, I've seen the pictures where their faces are exactly next to each other, and it was more for me usually like an expression that looks similar more than a character that looks similar. But she looks different, but not. There are other characters that look a bit like her. For example, it's literally the opposite side, but I mean, think about those, remember those tontatas or something? She kind of reminds me of the one with the blonde hair. He says Loki has many parallels with other characters, but the thing I want is a good chemistry between Loki and Zoro, because at this point, Loki is as big as Zoro in the potential crew. What do you mean as big as Zoro? Elbaf is supposed to have 3 levels. Maybe their leaders are in the heaven realm. That would be very interesting, because all societies eventually or often break up into like tiers, right? So it would be cool if even in this society they have their. That could be cool. I tagged you in the One Piece manga channel with Loki size comparison. Okay? Something like a mutual respect, and not only for Luffy. At this point, Loki is as big as Zoro in the potential crew. I don't understand that part. But then you say, oh, you know what's funny to me? How sad we feel in this chapter for Loki, but before we also felt sad for Hydrogen because he was the bastard, and we thought people treated him like the bastard. But actually, he had a pretty happy upbringing. I thought, like, oh, you're not allowed to be the prince. You're tainted blood. So we assumed that he was the brother that was treated poorly because he was a bastard. But then in the end, he had a very loving mother and a very happy life, maybe. And in actual fact, his mother was a demon. So, holy shit. That is insane. Is that... I can't even see who these characters are. Oh my god, look at Kaido compared to Hydrogen compared to freaking Loki. I think he means strength-wise. Oh, like physical strength. I don't know. I don't do the... What is it called in Dragon Ball Z? Strength discussions, like comparisons. I don't usually partake in that. So I wouldn't know how strong Loki is compared to the others. Power level. Oh, power scaling. That's the word. So, meaning it's not saying that it's wrong. I mean, I just haven't thought about it yet. So. And Loki and Zoro having a good chemistry. Honestly, after all these backstories for all these characters, after all these years, I just want to see Zoro's backstory. I hope we get more. I know I say that every week, but I think about it every week. Victory Road Rage says, wait, yeah, right. Wait until Loki actually does something. Yeah. I want to see more. I can't really... We did not see enough of Loki to be fair to know how strong he really is. Power scalers are fun to watch on Twitter. They're very entertaining. I saw someone comment the other day about something like they have receipts. How Goku beat Saitama. And I'm like, what? Are you gonna link me a video to your game where you know, like those games where characters from different universes fight each other? And I was thinking, like, please tell me you're gonna link me a clip to your game. Like, this is some kind of weird promo. Don't tell me you actually want to have this conversation, because really? It's so weird. It's so, like, why? How Oda does this whenever it's about romantic pairings. Okay. Why? Like when? Impossible to not see the similarities. But no way. She beats on like almost everyone. And a lot of shonen characters, female, they're just tough because they need to be in order to survive next to the MCs, you know? So it's just another archetype, if you can put it that way. I'm firmly convinced this is what Joy Boy also tried to do. This is a comment by Luffy What Else. Not a comment, sorry, a tweet. I'm firmly convinced that this is what Joy Boy also tried to do, but also Otohime in a different way. Love opens the borders to culture. I'm not surprised that the government stopped Harold. So, talking about this part, I intend to frequently travel overseas. I hope to extend a hand of reconciliation to our neighbors. Our land can become more prosperous. So, they're saying this is possibly what Joy Boy wanted to do in the first place. Unite people. Okay, anyway, that's enough tweets for now. Oda talked about it in an SBS and said he won't talk more about it. Just feel it. Wait, what? He won't talk more about it, just like Eustace Kid. About what? Have you ever watched a death battle video? They put up 2 fictional characters and describe their abilities. Then they showed an animated fight. Bowser versus Dr. Eggman was amazingly animated. Unrelated, but do you ship Frankie and Robin? I think I have a video. It's old now. I might have changed my thoughts a little bit, but just give me a second. I have a video on YouTube with my favorite ships. It's here. So what? No, I can't play the audio because copyright. So let me just mute it. Wait, I can mute it here, right? Where's the audio? Okay, I don't know how to mute the audio here, so let's... Shh. Oh, there. Okay, Sabo and Koala, Kobe and Rebecca, but I mean, this is old. I did not know the blonde girl that is possibly Akainu's daughter, so that has changed. Mihawk and Perona, but I don't know the age difference, so don't come at me. I just thought they looked cute together. Robin and Law. I shipped Robin and Zoro for a while. I don't think I ever shipped Robin and Frankie. And I don't know who put Robin and Law in my head. Might have been Cherry. So, Usopp and Kaya. That was a joke. Usopp and Nami. Haha, I'm kidding, gotcha. And then I just put Usopp and Kaya forever, obviously. Zoro has spent more time with Perona than any of the Straw Hats. What? Luffy and Vivi. And I don't care. Of course, everyone says Luffy and Meat, but I don't care. This is my favorite. It's like my OG. I love them so much back then. Zoro and Hiyori. Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Hiyori. I love them. Oh, this is actually my OTTTTP. Sanji and Pudding. I mean, you cannot get any better than that. And then the best pair, Brooke and Panties. Wait, I need to play the music at the end here. Wait, I'm scared for the... Usopp and Nami is a low-key good one. Yeah, kind of, not gonna lie. That's why I made the joke. I love the way he laughs there. The 2-year time skip is longer than all the time the crew has been together. Yeah, but how much time do we really think they spent together? The castle they lived in was big, and he was training all the time. She probably, like, bothered him once a week. Whereas the crew was together all the time. I don't think him and Perona spent that much time together. Don't ruin my Hiyori ship with Zoro. Robin is always flirting with Jinbei. I would ship Robin and Jinbei too. I don't know if they were flirting, but they're cute. And I love Jinbei, so he could handle a woman like Robin. I feel like Robin would... She needs a man, not a boy. There's a death battle of Kirby and Majin Buu that could be fun for you in the future. That would be fun. Should that say she needs to find a new toy after Zoro left? That's because he's so easy to tease. I liked the concept of some people were putting it like Mihawk was the dad and they were two kids. Like he was taking care of siblings. That was kind of cute. I saw some art that depicted it that way. Let's face it, Zoro's sense of direction is begging for Piranha supervision. Why Piranha supervision? Literally anyone's supervision. He just needs someone to take care of him. Poor Zoro. I can't wait for the day that Sanji and Pudding meet each other again, because he has supposedly people in TV shows make fun of people who say supposedly, and now I started saying it. That is shocking. What was I saying? Supposedly, I forgot. I'm not going to react to something that I don't know just because you asked me to in a random stream. I don't even know who you are. Isn't it Robin and Zoro? No. Well, I mean, maybe where you're at episode 150, but it's changed. So there's a really fun video that I wanted to... I'm not going to react to it now because I don't know the copyright. But Booty, can you just show me the link to that video of Loki? And I want to show people the channel so that they can go watch it. It's very funny. Some that got time out for spamming. I told him to stop when he came back. So I'm close to banning him already. Oh, this guy. He got timed out? Yeah, I don't like people that just come in, ask for reactions, and then interrupt the conversation. It's a bit spammy. Let me see. Loki. Ah, here we go. Actually, it was in my history. So please, if you have time, go look at Loki, Destripando la Historia. So, Destripando la Historia. This is unraveling subs, but the original content is by, let me show you. Welcome to Unraveling History with Pascu and Rodri. So their channel is in Spanish, so this channel translates the videos, and it's really, really funny. So this one is about Loki, as in the mythology. I'm gonna play the audio. If this channel shared it, it might not be copyrighted. So let's see if the stream ends very suddenly, you know why. I'm just gonna play a part of the song because it's so funny. He's the son of a giant. Se convierte en mosca y en salmón. Tiene hijos muy normales, una niña cadáver y dos animales. Aunque esté trastornado, a los dioses ha ayudado. Les consigue regalos super guays. El martillo de Thor fue Loki y la lanza de Odín fue Loki. Oh my god, and the visuals are so funny. I love this part where he's swinging his hair. It's this expression to it. Okay, I won't play the whole thing, but go listen to it. The channel is called Destripando la Historia. There are a lot of reactions for this video on YouTube, and they look cool with it as far as I know. Yeah, but it's not so much whether they allow it. It's more like live streams. I think YouTube kind of automatically, if they pick up a song, the stream ends because it's, I don't know. That happened to me once when I was streaming, and now I'm just scared. Okay, but that's pretty much the end of what I wanted to say about the chapter. I think that Loki as a baby, that's gonna be one for the books of the One Piece fandom. I mean, we've had 20 years of One Piece content. I haven't been a fan of One Piece for 20 years, obviously, but I mean, there's 20 years of chapters that have been coming out almost every week. So the point is, Loki as a baby being thrown off like that, I mean, it's going to become one of the top 10 scenes. Because I mean, One Piece has sad backstories, but this one is bad. Like, because it's not an adult that's being, okay, but technically all of the backstories are them as kids, right? Suffering. But I mean, he's not even, he's a literal freaking baby. And it's not like his own mother. And the way that one tweet put it about being rejected by his mother, rejected by his brother, rejected by his people, rejected by Lola. Like, now I really want him to join the crew. I want Luffy to accept him. I mean, Luffy already has accepted him. He's turned Luffy down, right? But my point is, like, I don't know how, but I need it to happen. He needs... but the ship could never, But like I said before, and I'll say it again, at the end of the day, I think that Hyojin and Loki need to reconcile, and they're going to have to rule Elbaf together. Loki doesn't seem to be the kind of guy who would rule from Elbaf either. He'd probably go out and adventure, but I think he will do it in conjunction with his brother. I hope that they reconcile. And I think he's going to kind of end up being like Vivi in a way, because Vivi was one that definitely could have joined the crew, but she had a responsibility that she felt was, she put, like King Arthur, she put her role first before her, personal desires. Sorry, I watched the King Arthur movie today, and now I'm like, I just want to flaunt that. I saw that. I know that. Maybe his devil fruit can make him human-sized or smaller. We don't know what his devil fruit is yet, right? That would be cool. Maybe he has some kind of Zoan fruit. Chopper has the Hito Hito no Mi. What kind of fruit would he have to have that is both awesome and strong, but also could change his form? Like Miss Valentine had a weight fruit. She could make herself heavier or lighter. We don't know. All we know is that it was Elbaf's treasure. We don't know that for sure, in my opinion. There was a chest, and everyone said he ate what was in the chest, but he had just come back from a long voyage. So he could have had a devil fruit. He could have eaten a devil fruit on his voyage, came back to meet his father who summoned him. Then he was blamed for killing his father and eating the fruit. But Shanks left. Someone came there for their treasure. And it's not necessarily Loki that ate it, in my opinion. Next, see Kayla flex her lore knowledge on Fate. Someday. I think that the Buccaneer people revered Nika. And the Buccaneer people are linked to the Giants, who also know about Nika and revere him, right? So their treasure would, to me, be the Nika fruit. The Gomu Gomu no Mi. I think that was the treasure. I think someone came to steal it or take it, and killed or turned Harold. Loki got framed for it. They ran away with it. Shanks went after them, fought with them, left with the fruit. But we already discussed this last time. I'm just kind of like summarizing. Shanks left with the fruit, and he was going to take it back to Elbaf or take it to Rayleigh. We were theorizing, obviously. And that's when Luffy ate it. So there is a filler episode where a giant had a fruit that let them change size. Interesting, but it's filler, so... Join the crew or not, Loki is still joined in the final war, just like the prophecies. Yeah, everyone's gonna come together at the end. I mean, they would have to. We just saw that Loki is the god of transformation. He may become a fly or a salmon. What about... Oh my gosh. I would love him to have some kind of Zoan fruit. But... And then turn into some kind of... You know, like Marco? But how would that turn him... Is there a mythical creature that can change size? Oda says he doesn't use devil fruits used in filler or movies. He could change his mind in 20 years if he needs to, if it's relevant to the story. He was mad when Shiki got the float fruit in the movie. That fruit would be really lame if that's all Loki has. Which fruit? A mimic could change size to match what they change into. What's a mimic? Like the treasure boxes in Frieren and most fantasy? Some giants can change size, like Jack and the Beanstalk. I think if he has a mythical human fruit, he should be able to go human size. Oh, like the Buddha one, and the Nika himself. Whoa, wouldn't that be cool? Mythical creatures that change size or shape, or what about a basilisk? Several mythological creatures are known for their size altering abilities. Sun. Oh my god, I would die. Imagine a Sun Wukong. Imagine, I mean, it can't, but just imagine. Sorry. I totally freaked out and slapped myself in the face and almost ripped my... I still have a scab wound. It just... Imagine if that would... Okay, anyway, sorry. It would never. I don't know. But anyway, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King from Journey to the West, can change form as tall as the heavens to as small as a fly. Hanuman from Ramayana can also transform from the size of a bee to a mountain. Draugr from Norse folklore can change their size and weight, and other Nordic creatures like trolls are known for this ability. Wait, what's a Draugr? That sounds cool. Chinese mythology fruit would be a major twist in Elbaf. Feel like it won't be it. Yeah, I know. That's why I said there's no way. And I'm looking at Draugr because that's actually Norse. The Draugr or Drogue is a corporeal undead creature. Undead? Please just... Sorry, ban Alexander. He's just repeating. He's just spamming at this point. The Draugr or Drogue is a corporeal undead creature from the sagas and folk tales of Nordic countries with various ambiguous traits. An undead being known from sagas, folk tales, and the word may be related to the Swedish word Drogue. But what can they do? What do they look like? What are their abilities? Oh my god, that is absolutely terrifying. Ugh, okay, no. and other Nordic creatures. But like, I mean, what is the horse guy? What is he based on again? The horse dragon guy, one of the knights. Oh my lord! Imagine if he fairy trows. What's a trow? A killing. Okay, so but see, if Oda can turn, okay, but he kind of does look like that, but a very skinny version of it, right? I don't think he would be this thing. Nope. What is a trow? A trow is a malignant or mischievous fairy or spirit in the folkloric traditions of the Orkney and Shetland Islands. Trows may be regarded as monstrous giants at times, or quite the opposite, short-statured fairies. Oh my lord, imagine if he can go from a giant to a small fairy to fit on the boat. I would die. I would die. Ooh. They're not the kind of fairy I thought of, though. Oh, Traui no crop. That is so cute. The heart of Scotland. Oh my gosh. Please be a trow. Please have the trow no me. Fairies in some stories can grow to giant sizes, and trolls are often depicted as giants. Leshy, a Slavic woodland spirit, can change size and shape. Leshy. Who's Leshy? Leshy is a Slavic woodland spirit who can change size and shapeshift into various forms. Leshy? Oh, that's terrifying. Why are all these things so scary? I'm waiting for a cute one because it would be so cool if Loki can have an adorable form, okay? I mean, his baby form is already adorable. If you go back far enough, elves, goblins, dwarves, and fairies all start getting ambiguous and the same. I can't stand the manga readers coming up with the most rancid theories. We're having fun. Just please ban. Since they can't stand us, we don't need to stand them, and their energy is not needed here. Like, move on to someone else. Seriously. Anyway, I love whatever this is. Leshy. It's kind of scary looking in some of these, but this is actually pretty cool. That is interesting. A Leshy pinup art print. You can literally find anything if you look hard enough. This is freaking cool. What's this? What the Witcher got wrong about Leshy. Oh, now I want to play The Witcher. Is The Witcher originally a game that got turned into a series? Manga readers, aka just reading the actual story. That's like saying I hate air breathers. Oh, it's a book, and then a game, and then a series. But yeah, I think he means, though, anime watchers just watch the anime, and then manga readers are more likely, because we're caught up, we're more likely to theorize, because it's exciting. I don't know, but it just seems like someone who doesn't have friends to theorize with, so he's fucking sad. So I should have been his friend, but I don't have the patience anymore. Copper Man is from Finnish folklore and can grow to an enormous size. Lagahu, a shape-shifting monster in Trinidad and Tobago, can also change size from tiny to gigantic. Tobago. I just think that it would, no man, Tobago as in mythology, not the place. I just think it's exciting to think about how Loki could join. Because, I mean, he's big. He is huge. So if he would join, it's fun to think about the potential of how. Tobago's mythology is rich with folklore. No! Lagahu. Oh, Tobago is the place! Oh, wow. That was the most blonde moment I think I've had in my whole life. But to be fair, I was distracted by the other conversation. So let me read this again. Lagahu is a shape-shifting monster in Trinidad and Tobago who can also change sizes. So I should be looking up Lagahu, not Tobago. Okay. So this is a Lagahu. Also scary. Wow. Okay. He has horns. I mean, it could work. That's a little scary. That just looks like a werewolf. The tale of the Lagahu is heard in Trinidad and known as Logawo in Haiti. I don't know how to say that. Haiti. Haitians. That's from Clueless, right? She couldn't say the word for... I can still not say it. It drags a coffin of souls and appears as a dog or a headless man. Whoa. Anyway, here is a more detailed look at some of the creatures. We have Sun Wukong, Hanuman, the powerful monkey god, can change his size at will, often using this ability to perform heroic feats. Okay, so we have Draugr Leshi, Copper Man, is a figure from Kalevala. Okay, so anyway, there's a lot of options that it could be. Probably none. It's just for fun we're thinking about it. People say they make the ship giant, but that would suck for everyone else, right? Imagine your house was 10 times bigger. How could you do anything? Yeah. It would be too difficult. Like, I mean, they're this big and then Nami would have to... I mean, they'd all get really, really fit running around from the back to the front and so on. But I mean, how would you manage? He as the giant would have to do all the sails and because they work together as a crew to lower the sails and do this and do that. So Loki needs to change size himself for it to work. That's what we're thinking. The puka is kind of an adorable shapeshifter. Maybe it's just me. Look at the One Piece manga chat. Okay, I just want to look up a puka, but also I'm kind of scared that it's a trick and it's something else. Oh, okay. I was worried. Oh, it's kind of cute. Also a little scary, but oh my god, that would be cute. Imagine he turns into a little thing like this. And then he just... Okay, I'll stop. Especially because it looks kind of monkey-like. And Monkey D. Luffy. Hey, here's a horse interpretation. Will Loki take off the bandages? And if he does, will he keep them off? He might look cool now, grown up. I wonder if there is some kind of power in his eyes. That might be why, like, maybe it's a power he can't control yet. I don't know. He can't... I don't know. This is Loki and the Sunny. Wait, but whose art is this? It'd be nice to show the artist. Unless you're the artist. But that doesn't look too terrible. They could give him a... Maybe he follows them around in his own ship. But that wouldn't be the same. He has to be on the Sunny if he's gonna join. If. Okay, well, let me roll and then I'll end my video. Maybe the stream too, because my parents might still be awake and I want to spend a little time with them. I'm not sure if it will mean anything, but Odin had an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir, just like Harold got. Yeah, it was given to him by Loki though, in the mythology, right? I think it's like just a little bit of Norse mythology coming through. Maybe he's covering them because his mom popped his eyes. Oh, you mean like she... No. She threw him off. And he was clinging there and he still had his eyes. I think he's the one that ties them and closes them. Kind of reminds me of Cyborg. What's that guy's name from X-Men? The one that has to cover his eyes? Maybe it could be due to a trauma, which is most likely, I would say. Cyclops, what did I say? I mean, after he climbed back. I mean, it's possible, but I think it's most likely a trauma thing. Or I would like it to be that they have a special power, that he has to protect others. Like maybe it developed with time. But that's reaching at straws based on nothing but what I think would be cool. How would he know his mom hates his eyes? He was a baby. I guess maybe everyone was scared of them. That could be it. I'll look at this one later. I don't know if it has an audio. I said cyborg. Oh, I meant Cyclops. Sorry. That would be nice, them being a blessing instead of a curse. Yeah, if he could develop. Especially because, I mean, look at Pudding's eyes. Her mom saw her eyes as scary and ugly, and she had to hide it with her fringe. It would be fitting the themes that has been introduced in One Piece so far, but then I don't know if her eye has any special ability though, but maybe. Because she's also from a very specific people, right? And what I really like about One Piece is it has all these different cultures and people, but the heavy theme that we're better together, benefiting from each other, learning from each other, helping, supporting each other. How would he know his mom hates his eyes? Maybe, and this is the most reaching I've done tonight. You know how some kids remember everything from birth? But we don't know. It's probably just that people were scared of his eyes. I don't know. Loki is going to break out the Mangekyo Sharingan with all the pain he's felt in his life. Some people have been known to be born with the ability to remember everything. Exactly. That too. That's what I was thinking about. Essentially, Ida was saying this chapter that you shouldn't destroy things. Create your own way if you disagree. Oh. Yeah. Create your own way. But Loki likes the old ways of rampaging. But it's only because he probably has so much... He likes strength. He and probably because of the trauma he has faced, he's needed to be strong his whole life. So he almost overcompensates by leaning into that part of his culture and saying that's how giants should be, because that's how he's protected himself all this time. I wouldn't even say Loki as a young Harold, maybe on the surface, but Harold was the way that he was because he was spoiled and had too much power. Loki it's a self-defense mechanism almost. So like on the surface they're the same, but it's, I guess the reason for what made them that way is so vastly different. Wow, but I love how Oda can bring a character in and then within a few chapters make them like one of the best characters and most interesting that I've ever read about, and I want to know more. You know? Not to say he's in my top 10, I'm just saying like, oh my god, I so badly want to know more about this character. He killed a bear minutes after birth. Wasn't it a wolf? I think I read someone say wolf. And then they compared it to when Big Mom killed a bear when she was 5 or something. Okay. But thank you guys for reading the chapter with me. I had a lot of fun. And the discussion, the theorizing, I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from now. Oh, I'm so sad that we're going to have to wait that long, but Oda can take all the time he needs to to enjoy his life, and then when he's ready, continue the story. I hope he takes time to enjoy his life. I think bear, but it's hard to tell. I don't remember, so either way, a giant strong creature was killed. At least we were not on a major cliffhanger. Are you sure about that? Because for me, every moment feels like a major cliffhanger because I want to know what happens next. But I get what you mean. Like, no one is being held at gunpoint and then we have to find out next time if they survive. So, have a good Monday, everyone. Oh crap. Wait, let me just quickly take a look here. I'm not streaming on Tuesday, but I am recording some content, some reactions. And then on Wednesday, I think Dan Da Dan starts. So I'll be watching Fate and then Dan Da Dan. And then Dan Da Dan will be on YouTube for highlights. And then I'll be back to streaming on Friday, the 4th of July. I'm starting a new Patreon level 3 sponsor, which reminds me I need to post the poll tonight. Booty, if you can you ping me in the mod chat about that? Then on Friday, I'll also be reacting to Vigilantes. This is on Twitch. And finishing up Apothecary Diaries, Season 2. On Saturday, I'm reacting to about 6 Dragon Ball Z episodes, plus Fragrant Flower, and maybe Dress Up Darling. We'll see. Sunday, we have a movie sponsor. By the way, I'll let the top 3 on Twitch know who can sponsor and who was the top 3. I think Espada, Modru, and Walid on his birthday. He sent bets. So yeah, on Sunday the 6th of July, we'll be reacting to a sponsored movie, plus Gachiakuta, probably. Then also the One Piece anime, and there is no manga chapter, so I am removing that from the schedule. Already with the new season, I need to check schedules. Thanks for an awesome stream as always. Well, I'm glad I could join at the last part. I hope you enjoyed fishing. I hope you caught some fish. And if you did, you should, I don't know if you know, but it would be so cool if you knew how to like clean it and brine it, like barbecue fish that you caught. That would be so cool. Thank you, Modru. I want to be here next weekend. I'm going to the beach on Thursday for the 4th of July and won't be back until Sunday. Enjoy. You deserve it. You worked so hard this weekend. Have a lot of fun. And thank you, Tsel. Thank you, Modru, Espada, Booty. Someone is rolling. Thank you, Dark Shadow. Victory Road. It was nice to have you here as well. Okome. I didn't see you there. Konnichiwa. And 1D Piece. Green Tornado. If I didn't give you a shout out, I still really appreciate your presence. And I will see you guys